Welcome to New Hope Underground, the podcast that is a huge fan of Cadbury bunnies. Today's episode is entitled Easter Matzah and a Papier-Mache Judas. And now here are your hosts, Darin and Sharla Hansen.
Hey, welcome to New Hope Underground, and we are back and ready to attack. I don't know, that sounded like a good DJ kind of thing.
Okay. If you think so.
Yeah,
works.
just, you're my wife. You're supposed to support me, so just support me.
Go. That was great. Keep it up.
Sharla's here with me today, and we are on to a new episode. We got a fun episode for you today. No doubt about it. And we talk about the real news.
Oh, nice.
Like I always say, the real news is the best news, which means basically it's news that no one cares about to the point where they won't filter out anything.
Oh, that's good.
Or try to spin it to their agenda. You don't spin this because there's no reason to. So therefore it must be real, the way I look at it.
Or ridiculous.
Yeah, and both. So we'll talk about that, and then we also are going to talk about Easter traditions.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And I've got a little fun thing we'll talk about and ask you some questions on that.
Oh, good.
See what you're thinking about it. But it's springtime. It's officially here, and it's like 60 degrees today. But it's Illinois, so that means tomorrow it's what?
40 something probably.
30 or 40, closer to freezing.
Snow. Who knows?
Yeah, we've had snow May 1st around here. We don't care. Sometimes we've had all 4 seasons in 1 week.
What's happened?
It just doesn't really. It doesn't matter in Illinois, that's for sure. So anyway, hey, happy spring, and this has to do with this is kind of our Easter episode, if you will.
Well, let's hop to it.
So anyway, I was reading about which I find fascinating on a couple different levels.
One that you're reading.
Number one, that I'm reading anything. That's pretty fascinating. Number two. I don't know if it's the start of a new Easter tradition or not, but I was reading about an assisted living facility in Israel that got their residents together and decided to build a record-setting tower of matzah bread in celebration of Passover.
Okay.
So they erected this matzah bread tower, 17.7 feet tall.
Okay. I have all sorts of things going through my head right now.
Okay, go ahead. Fire before I tell you any more details.
Why are old people on ladders? That's the first question. I'm assuming they are. I know nothing about this story. I haven't read it. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything. But the first thing that pops into my mind is a vision of somebody's grandma on a ladder putting matzah bread up somewhere.
Well, I just got this feeling. I may be wrong. But I got this feeling that they probably have younger people doing that part.
Well, then is it really the assisted living, or is it just the employees?
No, I think the people are putting it together. Now, it's held together with some sort of like chocolate spread.
Like Nutella or something?
Yeah. It's celebration of Passover. Okay. They're putting matzah bread together and gluing it, for lack of a better term, together with chocolate spread, and constructed at 17.7 feet tall.
That's impressive. Is this inside or outside?
That's a good question. The little picture I saw looked like it was inside. There was no real.
Well, okay.
So they must have some tall ceilings in this place.
Maybe like an atrium or something.
Right.
Because if it was outside, that would be like.
Well, first of all, these people have been shut in for a long time, so.
Let's rip it up and let's have a lot of fun. Let's build a matzah bread tower.
Right. So you can deduce one of two things. Okay. One is they're trying to be creative. Number two, everybody's gone crazy.
Yeah, that's
so it's one of
likely.
The two. Yeah.
Or they received a lot of food donations during COVID of matzah bread, and they don't know what to do with it.
Well, no, see, this is a celebration of their Passover. I mean, this is in Israel. This is, Israelis. who take their matzah bread very seriously.
Well, I realize that, but if you have people donating left and right, you can't. What are you going to do with it all? Well, build a tower. That's what you're going to do.
A matzah tower. And that's exactly what you should do on Easter.
I was thinking that.
And I don't know if this is going to become a tradition at this particular assisted living facility, but I would say go for it. I mean, make it a tradition. Try to top yourself every year.
I'm thinking maybe we should try that.
Well, I don't even know where to get matzah bread.
Well, can't we just use crackers?
I guess you can. Nutella and crackers.
That's a terrible combination.
Yeah.
How about peanut butter instead? That'd be really good.
See, the thing is, they have Passover, so it makes, there's some sort of significance. I'm not sure what the tower is, because when I read about ancient Hebrew history, towers aren't always in a good light.
No, they're usually
like Genesis chapter
decimated.
11. There's this thing called the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
God didn't seem like he was too happy about that.
No, kind of took care of that.
So in their own history, towers aren't exactly. And then there's the only other tower I remember in the Bible is when Jesus was talking about a tower that had fallen and killed several people.
Well, maybe
the Tower of Siloam.
Maybe they just opened up like the Guinness Book of World Records and say, hey, we could do this because we have all this matzah bread.
I think that's what it's really about. I think it's funny that the article tied it into Passover, because I'm not so sure what. You wonder if the residents are seriously thinking, hey, for Passover, instead of just doing that Seder meal thing, let's go ahead and build a giant tower out of matzah bread. So someone came up with an idea. I think it's creative. I like it. I'm glad they're doing something. I think it's awesome. And chocolate spread. I mean, come on, that's the best.
You know what else would be really good? The cheese spread, like cheese in a can.
Cheese whiz.
No, the cheese in a can. Spread up. The cheese whiz is the stuff that comes in a jar that's disgusting.
Hey, I grew up on cheese whiz.
That's not food. It's
cheese whiz. It's a whiz of cheese.
No, it's not even cheese.
I like it. It's like
Velveeta, yellow oil.
It's like
with
Velveeta
seasoning
in a jar.
That's. So
what are you talking about? Cheese in a can.
What? Cheese. Like spreadable cheese, like spray cheese.
Oh, you mean the cans
with the fancy tip that you spray on crackers?
Yeah, I got you.
Because you could put it on the edge of the crackers and then just like, it's like
when you
glue.
said can, I was thinking like tin can, as in something you open
like
with a can.
A can of green beans? No, no.
What? I don't remember any cheese like that.
There probably is, and there are a lot of food prepper places. I'm sure there's cheese in a can somewhere.
Well, I tell you what, if you're looking for something new to start at your house with your family, this might be a good place to start. When it comes to, because in a way you're tying in the Passover, you're tying in Easter, you're having a little Easter project. It can be very, I don't know. You could make excuses and come up with some very good justifications for such a tradition as a giant matzah tower at your house. I'm just saying.
You could. Okay.
So you know what? I don't think I've ever really asked this in all the years we've been married. When you were growing up, what did you guys do for Easter? Did you guys have any Easter traditions?
Yeah, we did. We did have some great Easter traditions, and actually I have a few stories I could share with you. I was actually just discussing this with my oldest sister the other day, and so it's kind of fresh on my mind, which is funny because that you bring this up because I didn't talk about it with you.
Okay, that's right. Give me one good one.
One good one. Well, you know how most families, the kids like to love the Easter Bunny, and they want to go visit the Easter Bunny and sit on the Easter Bunny's lap and get their picture taken with the Easter Bunny?
Right.
Well, okay.
Nowadays, that's dreadfully scary.
Well, no, people still do it all the time.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, and they take their dogs, everything, all sorts of stuff. But here's the thing. My sisters are 9, 15, and 17 years older than me. So my oldest sister was like a second mom to me, and she's great. And she and I are very close.
And she listens to our show.
She does. So, Shelby, this is for you.
There you go.
Now, here's the thing. I was pretty much a quiet kid, and I was I'm very much an introvert and not a go-getter. Like with the Easter egg hunts, there'd be like the go thing. I'd be the one standing at the line crying because it was stressing me out. But with Easter, I remember in particular one year, my sister was visiting because she was married and she was at home visiting, and we were sitting on the couch and she had been reading a book to me because she would always read books to me, and it was early in the morning and it was Easter morning, and she looked up and looked at the window and said, "Hey, did you see that? Oh my gosh." And to which my little 5-year-old heart started beating very fast, and I'm like, what? She said, "I just saw the Easter bunny." Okay, nice. What that translates into to a small child is there is an enormous rabbit standing outside your door
waiting
or
on
your
you.
windows looking at you. He was terrifying. And I remember sitting on the couch shaking, terrified of the Easter bunny.
So your sister was trying to scare you, or they thought it was cute?
She thought it was cute. She thought I would think it was fun. I thought it was terrifying, and
ever since then you've been a little bit afraid.
I'm not a big Easter bunny fan.
Yeah.
Or Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, you and I haven't really had any Easter traditions, really.
We
with
did.
The kids growing up.
We absolutely did. The day after Easter, we'd buy candy.
Yeah, but that was about it. I mean,
and we hid things.
I think
for the kids.
I know why though. It's because of your fear of rabbits.
I hate it, and I don't like it.
I don't remember really having that many traditions either. The only thing I remember is one time I got a bank as a kid, and it was an Uncle Sam bank.
Oh, nice.
And you put a penny in his hand and push the button. He would drop it into a bag. And I don't know if that was like a way to teach us how to. That's what I was thinking. Is that a way to like teach us how to be good taxpayers, or that's all I remember. For some reason that was on Easter, but I don't remember like we never.
That would make sense if it was like 4th of July or something, but Easter.
I know. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he was on sale or something.
I was gonna say maybe they got it at a garage sale. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe garage sale or sale. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing. There are really unique, I found out, Easter traditions. Some of them tied into Christian traditions.
Okay.
Some of them not, around the world.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go through a few of them real quick.
Okay.
And I'll try to go fast because I want to get as many as I can in. Here's one of them. Bermuda, the island of Bermuda, has a really neat Easter tradition called a kite fest.
Oh, nice.
People make their own kites. Everybody flies them. And then they also get together for codfish and hot cross buns.
That sounds enjoyable.
And then around the island there are quite a few church services that happen, sunrise services.
Oh, nice.
On beaches.
I would like that.
Bermuda. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I think Bermuda might be. Now I want you to listen to all these and tell me which country you'd rather be a part of when it comes to each tradition. So that's Bermuda. The second one.
Wait, is this going to go into some sort of planning for the future or just random?
No, it's just kind of random.
Okay.
Number 2 is the North Philippines, and in kind of a remote area of the Philippines. They actually reenact the crucifixion by actually nailing people to a cross. I'm not even joking.
Isn't that illegal?
And tourists come from everywhere. Apparently, it's not there. And I guess the Catholic Church, among others, has denounced it and said, don't do this, please. But they continue to do it. And it's a big tourist attraction.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a... what do you call it? A matter of pride for someone to be selected for that.
Let's recreate this murder.
I know.
It's every year.
Awful. Another one is in Mexico. They will have parades and in celebration. But the biggest thing they do is they take a Papier-Mache Judas and they blow him up with fireworks.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So that's pretty cool. So you got Bermuda, you get the Kite Fest, the Philippines, the actual crucifixions, Mexico, the Papier-Mache Judas. In Australia, they hate rabbits. So you might fit in there, you might like that. But they actually have replaced the rabbit with the chocolate bandicoot.
I think it's a bandicoot, isn't it?
Bandicoot.
It's a band of something.
It's a bandicoot.
What kind of an animal is it? I don't even know what kind of an animal it is.
No, it's a bandicoot. You're totally right. It's some other rodent, I think. But
maybe bandicoot is like multiple.
Bandicoot. The bandicoot, they call him a bilby, And they actually make chocolate bandicoots that have long ears like a rabbit. They don't normally do. Yeah. But they hate rabbits. And here's the reason they hate them is because they destroy all their crops.
Yeah.
Now, New Zealand also hates rabbits. And they have a thing called the New Zealand Great Easter Bunny Hunt. And they give big cash prizes to whoever during Easter time can kill the most rabbits.
That's horrible.
Yeah, the winners of they said the combination of people that enter the contest ends up killing somewhere around 20,000 rabbits total.
Gosh.
But they're big pests there though. I mean, they're hurting their economy.
Use fences, people.
In Finland, children dress like witches and they go begging for chocolate eggs. Now, how they do this, they make up their faces, they wear scarves, and they carry around these willow branches with feathers attached to them. And it has something to do
very
with...
new agey.
They do some bonfires and things, too, as villages to scare off... It really is supposed to ward off the actual witches, but it's Scandinavia. What do you expect? In Poland, they have what's called, during the Easter time, Wet Monday. And basically, on that Monday, you can just drench anybody you want.
Oh, fun.
And if a girl, with whatever, it could be like a bucket of water, squirt guns, whatever you want to use.
Okay.
If a single girl is drenched on that day, the tradition is that she will be getting married within a year.
Oh, fun.
So imagine if those girls that don't want to get married are like barricading themselves inside the house.
Probably.
I've got quite a few more, but they're really interesting. There's one in France, a little town in France. I can't even pronounce the name. That makes this gigantic omelet for the whole village. 1,000 people eat it. It's made out of 15,000 eggs. And there's history there because
that's a giant omelet pan.
Napoleon had his armies there as they're traveling, and in that village, the story goes that he loved the eggs there so much that he got the villagers together and forced them to create giant omelets for all of his army. And so they've been doing that ever since, kind of.
He was a twisted man. He forced people to make omelets.
Yeah.
Well, that's mean.
Well, I'm not sure if he forced them or they were proud about it. I'm not sure which one it was, but it's been a tradition ever since. So now 15,000 eggs.
That's a lot of eggs.
There's another place in Greece, Corfu, Greece, where they actually throw pots out windows, clay pots.
For
Easter.
Just throw.
It's a symbol of spring cleaning.
So it's just a symbol. They don't actually clean.
I don't know if they clean or not, but they throw pots out as a tradition. Clay pots off of balconies onto the street and the road, and they have to clean up. If it's
symbolic, then I need to talk to those people because they need to be spring cleaning.
Well, they break it. Now, here's the last one. This is the great one. Papua New Guinea. Now, Papua New Guinea is, a bunch of jungles. It's an island. It's, very remote. But people, they don't want chocolate there. Chocolate doesn't really do them any good out in the jungles, I guess. It's not a big deal there for them. So they have what they call, during Easter time, tobacco trees. And what they do is they decorate these Easter trees with sticks of tobacco and cigarettes. And then after church service, you can take your pick and smoke it on the way home.
That's hilarious.
So there you go.
That is hilarious.
How about those Easter traditions?
Norway,
I forgot. Norway has a tradition too. It got started a long time ago. For some reason, during Easter time, everybody in the country watches mysteries. They have like a special push for mystery books and mystery shows. And it had to do with some sort of advertising gimmick years ago, but now it's become a huge tradition. Everybody in the country gets together for those kind of things. So there you go. So there were quite a few. I don't know if you remember them all.
I do, and it really
what sticks out to you.
It was between two, but honestly, clinched it at the very end. There's no question. It's Norway, because mysteries are my favorite thing. I'm all about that. I think everybody should read mysteries all the time. And
it seems like an odd tradition.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Not really, but
for Easter.
For somebody who likes to read, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because it's a book. And if you're a reader, you just want a book in your hand. You don't really care what it is. So you might as well say, hey, Easter, let's read mysteries. Makes sense to me. Now,
I see. It makes sense to you because you like it, but it doesn't make sense in the sense of like the celebrating the death, resurrection, the resurrection of Christ, especially. I mean, here's, no, wait.
It's a mystery. The whole way that
there you
Christ's
go.
death,
Sure.
burial, resurrection, it's all supernatural.
Well, you know what?
All of that plays. It makes perfect sense to me.
And Paul writes that in 1 Corinthians.
Yeah.
He said it's a mystery.
It is a mystery.
I guess you could tie that in. It's pretty loose.
It's
but
not a mystery as to why that should be the winner.
I do want to explain something, though, that I think most of our listeners are probably wondering right now, and that is, where did we get our traditions? This rabbit and egg hunt and all that stuff. It actually came over from German immigrants in Pennsylvania early on, brought the tradition with them. And it was this idea that this hare, Hare,
Okay.
this hare would deliver eggs, he would actually lay eggs in a nest. He'd make a nest. And so that's where we get this.
Okay, wait. Do you mean like place them in the nest, or actually a hare would lay eggs like it's a chicken bird thing?
Maybe place them. Maybe there's no laying. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was reading the article about how it got started, because I was always curious, because everybody always says, a lot of Christians say, well, this is all going back to pagan ritual. And some of that's true. Pagan rituals, egg is a symbol of fertility, these pagan goddesses and this kind of stuff. However, the German immigrants are the ones, as far as America got things going. It's just that eventually the nest got replaced with the basket.
Okay.
Like the green stuff in the basket and the eggs.
Yeah.
And then also Christians have taken the egg tradition, and the actual painting of the eggs is actually a Christian tradition that stemmed from celebrating after the Lenten season is over.
Oh, nice.
As an act of celebration and
I like that.
And art.
I like
which
that.
came from early American history. So, yeah, I don't know why we have traditions that we do. I would say most of our traditions, just like Christmas, end up being some sort of commercial.
Well, it's probably because we're not very creative. Because if we were creative, we probably would have like a Matzah tower.
New Hope Church has a lot going on right now. Let me tell you about a couple things. One is that our For Shelbyville campaign is still going on, as we're trying to get that started in Shelbyville. They're working on the new building and renovating, and we're trying to do it all without incurring $1 of debt, and I think that's a great idea. So it might be slow, but it's we'll take our time, do as the Lord leads. That's fine. But we're having a prayer night in Shelbyville, April 11th, at the building, which is the bowling alley, or the old bowling alley there. April 11th from 5 to 6:30. There's going to be like hot dogs, a little celebration, prayer time, but also get a chance to go around the building and pray over the facility, and just, not so much for the facility itself as much as we're praying for the people who are going to enter that facility.
That sounds like a great thing.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I've also, another thing that's happening in Shelbyville is something that's unique, I think. We're just now checking this out, trying it out, and that is, I'm going to be doing a Bible question and answer night, 2 nights actually, May 5th and 19th, Wednesday nights, and they're going to be at the Ogden House there in Shelbyville. And if you have any desire to come to that, you are more than welcome. We love to have you. You can text me or message me, email me, whatever you want to do, and you can even message me on the show here at New Hope Underground on Facebook. I feel like you need to clarify
Instagram. Ogden House, because Ogden House makes it sound like it's some official place, but it's at the Ogden family's house.
Yeah, it's their house.
Okay, not like
the
some special
house.
Like the Ogden House, like a
tea
room or something.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good though.
It does.
I wish we had a special tea house called the Ogden House. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be, but if you want information on that, we'd love to have you. So maybe you're not in a small group, maybe that you're in some other group, but maybe your whole group wants to come to this. That's fine. So we'd love to, invite some friends, anybody. It's Shelbyville area, and it's May 5th and 19th, and that's going to be, I believe, around 6 o'clock. But hey, message me if you want details. And then also coming up is we have a new series starting on Sundays right after Easter called Your Everyday Ordinary Sleeping, Eating, and Walking Around Life.
Oh, that's from The Message.
That's the longest
That's from the Message.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we
It's
got
directly from the Message, and I can't remember the scripture that it's from.
It's a long title for a series, but it's gonna be fun. It's about how do we live as Christians now that we know, if we become, especially if you're a new Christian, but even if you're not, how do we live as Christians in the resurrection? Because of the resurrection, she gives us hope and joy. How do we live everyday life?
That's a great series.
Yeah, so one of the things we're doing with that is we're starting a group that's going to meet just for the length of that series for 4 weeks on Sunday morning, a group led by Matthew Jones in our church, and anyone can sign up for it and come. It is at 8:45 a.m. during one of our services. So you could go to this group during one service and then attend service the next service, starting April 11th, and it runs through May 2nd. And you can go every Sunday for 4 Sundays, and he's going to be leading a discussion and talking about these your everyday, ordinary sleeping, eating, walking around life, going along with our sermons. So
that sounds great.
Should be good. So we don't really have too many special plans for Easter. We'll probably hide some eggs for the grandkids, or
that sounds fun.
Maybe give them a bunch of chocolate, sugar them up.
Yeah.
Give them back to mom and dad.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. But hey, we hope you have a good time with your family, and tune in next week. We'll be right back with another episode of New Hope Underground.